Hytale is delayed past 2023. It's undergoing a complete engine rework into C++, and people across the community are quite literally freaking out. What's up everyone, my name is Codiak and welcome back to Legacy Gaming. Today, we're jumping back into one of our most anticipated games, breaking down some incredible changes and talking a bit about why anger popping up over this news is just ridiculous. Anyone who's been with us since our individual channels merged into what is now Legacy Gaming knows that we've been covering Hytale since the announced trailer. It's a game both Livid and I are incredibly excited for, but one we've also not only managed our own expectations on, but have told the community time and time again to do the same. Hypixel is the most successful Minecraft server team turned game studio, jumping from 30 employees working on Hytale to over 100 in just a few years, all while attracting the attention and support of Riot. It's a lot of growth at an arguably fast pace. Sure, we've been waiting for Hytale since 2018, but we've also been waiting for other games even longer, such as Star Citizen and Ashes of Creation, both of which have had competitors rush their respective titles out, such as New World and Elite Dangerous Odyssey, that, for all intents and purposes, completely flopped because they just simply weren't ready. That sort of decision-making is a reputation ruiner, plain and simple, and while we see a ton of players screaming for Hytale to just release, no matter the shape that the game is in, our question to you is, why? Why in the world do you think that's a good idea? If you've stopped following the game, we get it, but let us just bring you up to speed on the latest blog post, the Summer 2022 Development Update. First and foremost, Hytale's engine is being completely redeveloped for C++, making it much easier for them to release the game across multiple platforms right out of the gate, something that will most likely supercharge the player base, bringing more players to the table and likely keeping them there. It also makes it far easier and quicker for them to patch and maintain the game going forward, and we should all know by now, fast iterations on newly released games is crucial in that first 2 to 3 month window. They have the money and the resources right now to make this happen, which will directly lead to a broader and hopefully more polished launch. With C++ being the new language for the game, there are bound to be worries from the modding community that transitions over from Minecraft, since we won't be dealing in C# or Java anymore. We know quite a few of them already have projects in active development, likely under the impression they'd be working in those familiar programming languages. Again, we've told the community time and time again to manage expectations and not to get too invested in this space because things have been in constant flux since the very beginning. However, what the Hytale team can promise is that they intend to have best-in-class systems for easy scripting and configurability, while looking into other forms of moddability. Based on the advanced building tools they showed off, playing in the background as we speak, it's abundantly clear they know what they're doing with these tools. Anyone who's built at a higher level in Minecraft knows how much of a pain some of the tools can be, especially brushes for both layering terrain and causing destruction. The team clearly knows this is something that could be vastly improved upon, and with the early versions we're looking at now, they are already hitting it out of the park. Players will have ways to easily copy structures, build prefabs along spline points, cut into the terrain at fixed depths while automatically sculpting the terrain around it, and even have access to destruction brushes that take things a step further and believably place debris. To be honest, the tools look so good that I'm actually a little peeved at Hytale, since this is pretty much all Livid has been talking about since the blog post went live. Now me, on the other hand, I'm more interested in their new vision for Hytale. The team is clearly trying to reposition what the game actually is, what it means, updating the original pillar model of creative, competitive multiplayer, and adventure, and morphing that into something a bit more meaningful for the player. Door 1 is all about creative play. Spin up custom procedurally generated worlds and experience them as adventurers, creators, or something in between. You'll be able to freely install mods and take advantage of a diversity of block and prefab styles to change the look and feel of the game to how you see fit. Essentially, they want everyone in the creative space to start out with simple building blocks and then eventually more advanced building blocks before tapping into the power of scripting, asset creation, and additional animation tools to make whatever their ideal reality is come to life. Now, door number 2 intends to be an evolution of the more traditional Hypixel social play and minigame experience. This is where the shared player hub comes into the picture, allowing you to show off your avatar, your achievements from across the whole game, and to compete in the latest minigames and activities. It's only fitting that this is an evolution of what made them a successful team in the first place, making sure that this idea is at the heart of Hytale, a collective environment where the whole community can come together with events, activities, and more. Last up is Door 3. It's that first-person sandbox RPG experience adventuring on Orbis. This is an experience almost entirely curated, meaning the team has painstakingly crafted a majority of the world by hand. In areas, there will be some randomized elements and prefabs to give that story a bit of variation for all types of players, but across the board, they intend for the whole experience to offer a meaningful narrative and a diverse challenge for players across the spectrum. These 3 doors may look separate, but the ultimate goal is for them to all lead back and support each other. Whether someone wants to dive deep into one area or dabble in a bit of everything, the team wants everyone to feel connected and get a sense of the coherence across the Hytale space as a whole. This has all led to a lot of change, such as the entire user interface and user experience undergoing a revamp. And can I just say how polished and crisp these elements are looking so far? Incredibly readable, yet impressively dynamic in their execution. That's what you want, and the team looks to be nailing it. This revamp also applies to the various visual and particle effects within the game, with most of them getting substantial enhancements. We even get a first-hand look at the tools they've been developing to dynamically control different elements of particle effects in the engine, opening up additional control for modders. Even older areas of the world are getting a facelift to support this reimagining, such as dungeon environments, leaning more into a creepy, foreboding atmosphere. We're not done yet either. Biomes are also getting a facelift to give them more variation and depth. A whole host of new concept art and thumbnails, as well as in-game tests, show that colder biomes will now see low-hanging mist, various ice flows, and blocks of sheer jagged ice across both mountains and chasms. You might even find hot springs scattered throughout these harsh environments to refresh yourself during a long journey. You want to talk about reimagining a biome? Well, let's talk about the desert and a brand new variation, the salt flats. Wide, open, flat regions with coral-like vegetation and pockets of contrasting red rock, including massive chasms, perfect for your Star Wars or Mad Max recreations. Last up, let's just make sure we highlight this section about avatars. We know they are important to the overall plan of Hytale, but we got some new lore-related elements about them that may hint at a possible progression system underneath everything. In Hytale, many avatars are drawn to the world of Orbis, a world that has lost its avatar under mysterious circumstances. When they arrive on Orbis, they find themselves subject to many mortal limitations. Where elsewhere they can effortlessly channel their creativity, here they must develop practical skills if they're going to survive, establish themselves, and ultimately uncover the secrets of this vibrant, storied world. This, in our opinion, is a really cool way of introducing our unique characters to the overall world in a way that makes them feel innately special and powerful. Based on some of those combat updates we saw a while back, our existence in the world is really shaping up to be something pretty special. With all of this in mind, and our experience with both long-term development games and other games that chose to rush out their product, it's clear that this is without a doubt the right decision for Hytale. I'd worry about something like Hype if the game was already out or close to being released and playable, but it isn't, so at this point, it really doesn't matter. There will be plenty of other opportunities to drum up equal, if not more hype, when the world fully sees how much further this project has come. Nowadays, you only get one chance to make a first impression, and the Hytale team is clearly embracing that and taking it to heart. Delaying the game to ensure the foundation is solid sets them up for success in both the short and long term, but you have to see the big picture. Just because you as a player might be annoyed that the game still isn't out really doesn't justify the amount of risk that could come with releasing an early build, so we're just glad they're sticking to their guns on this one. Regardless of what side of the mountain you come down on, it's clear the team is still making decisions based on the betterment of the entire community, even going so far as to once again talking about performance on low-spec machines, still something that is a priority for the team so that everyone can eventually enjoy Hytale. As we always try and do in our Hytale videos, we want to turn it over to you. What about the blog post got you most excited? Leave us a comment down below and feel free to engage in some friendly discussion. If you enjoyed this video, remember to drop us a like and subscribe if you want more Hytale content in your feeds. We cover a ton of games, but Hytale will always be a staple for us. We also invite you to join us on Discord. We've got a great community of around 20,000 members with a special section dedicated just for Hytale, so check out that link below and join today. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.